Hey everybody, what's going on? This is your broadcaster, Master Cloud, and it's time for some more of the Battle from Middle-earth 2, The Lord of the Rings, The Rise of the Witch King. Today's matchup, a 1 versus 1 Game 2 in this semi-final match between two very powerful players, spawning as the White Gondor player in the upper left-hand side of the map for Zone Eisen 2. It is going to be the player Djparson, also known as Melkor 555. In that tournament bracket. His opponent spawning in the lower right-hand side as the green Isengard player. It is going to be the player Akashi-san. If you guys haven't taken a look at that first matchup between these two players, I do recommend you go check it out on my channel right now. The winner of that match, I will go ahead and spoil. It was, in fact, not Akashi-san. Akashi-san losing, actually, to Djparson, able to get the best of him in that first match. So we'll have to see here if Andy can come back. Andy also, Akashi-san, same person as well. All these players using a couple different names to play under, so I will be referring to them both as using both of those names throughout the matchup here. But we'll have to see if Andy here can come back and take Game 2 and try and make it to the finals. The winner of this series, guys, it is a best of 3, so the winner of this series is going to be moving on to that finals where their final opponent awaits them, who is, of course, the winner from that other bracket, which is going to be the player Megrim. So Megrim is sitting in the finals right now. He's waiting to know who he's going to be facing off against, and it is going to be one of these two very powerful players. Andy making his way to this stage by beating May Shadow in that very first round, of very difficult opponent for him, but was able to triumph over him, and then also taking out Lazarus 2-0. So Andy has made his way here into the semifinals, and then Melkor, on the other hand, beating let's see, it was I believe it was Dread Reaper in that first round, and then taking out Ice Vice in that quarterfinal round. So he is now in the semifinal round as well. And we'll have to see. It looks like a Gondor soldiers moving out across the map here. It is going to be a very standard opening for our Gondor player. Isengard immediately going for this Warglare with some of these with some archers. That's a pretty unusual start, I would say, that you don't often see in high-level games. There's almost always a rush on you almost always do a rush on your opponent's mines. So switching it up here is going to be the Uruk crossbowman first. We'll have to see how this works out for Akashi-san. These Urukai are going to be engaging these Gondor soldiers, and with the archers in the back, it is just going to be a slaughter. These Gondor soldiers basically getting thrown away to their death. They are buying some time, it looks like, for a group of Gondor soldiers around the backside. That mine has to get canceled there. And that was one really close to his fortress. Looks like the rally call was what was chosen for our Gondor player, Djparson. And of course, War Chant here being picked for the Isengard player. I'm surprised he didn't go for that Crow spell, as we will see that occasionally. But it is going to be the War Chant here. Could use it on these troops right here, decides to do so. These pikemen are out on the field, thrown into that Porcupine formation there. But I think what he wants to have engaged here is, of course, the Urukai, and they are now up front dealing the more significant amount of damage. These Gondor soldiers holding their own, though. Here comes some additional units of Gondor soldiers. Looks like they will find an additional furnace here to the north, an additional group of Gondor soldiers down to the south as well. No players utilizing this side of the map quite yet. Looks like it's just going to be this continued soldier spam here from our Gondor player, and now has a couple of Gondor knights out on the field. So this is going to be throwing a wrench into to what Andy has gone here, as he has only that one unit of pike. It looks like most of them have been taken out by those Gondor soldiers, though. So these horsemen are going to be running freely. Akashi-san catches wind of it, but not quickly enough, and these Uruk crossbowmen are going to get completely trampled. The second unit in danger as well. These units trying to move over to save them, but I don't even know if they're going to be able to, as they can also be trampled very easily by these Gondor Knights. The fortress going to be trying to take out as many of them as it can while they are in range. But they do retreat now. There's those pikemen. Where have they been? They need to be back here protecting these crossbowmen if possible. These Gondor soldiers continuing to press forward here. Andy under a lot of pressure, potentially losing an additional mine to the north, has done minimal to... Actually, I don't think he's had a single unit on his opponent's side of the map this entire game. These Uruk crossbowmen venturing out a little too far, but the pikemen do move forward and are able to protect them there. Gondor Knights getting another great run-through on some of these troops. And Andy here once again reeling as he cannot stand up to the soldier spam of Djparson here. These crossbowmen out and exposed again. the horsemen getting a decent run through there. These units actually barely survived, literally like 1 HP left. But for now, at least, they will indeed survive. To the south side, the group of pikemen might find this unit of Gondor soldiers, but the problem, or Gondor knights. But the problem is they can just simply outrun them, and we'll get actually this the rear area here of the base left undefended. So they should be able to easily take out this furnace, I would think. Actually, these pikemen pretty quick movement speed, as you can see there, so they are able to get back in time to protect that furnace. And these Gondor knights going to be, looks like, maybe moving to the north in an attempt to help out their other friends who are up here right now. The last unit of Gondor soldiers gets taken out there. And temporarily, it looks like, other than this minimal harass here with some of these Gondor knights, Djparson sitting in the back of his base right now, building up a huge army. It's mostly just going to be soldiers. Do we have any additional units on the field? Would like to see maybe a hero for some damage potentially being done, significant damage to structures. Maybe Boromir, I think, might be the right choice, but it is going to be the hero Faramir, so he's going for that ranged hero versus the ground hero. Faramir a little bit cheaper, I believe, than Boromir. Boromir has been nerfed slightly in patch 2.02 version 4, of course, the one that we are playing on here, guys. The tournament games, all tournament games require to be played on that patch. Of course, just the 1,000 starting limits with the one times command points. And ring heroes are on as well. I'm not sure where Gollum is. I haven't seen him on the map quite yet, so he is around here somewhere, though. Looks like a pretty sizable force for Isengard here to the bottom is going to be grabbing this Warglare. Does desperately need that money right now. Didn't manage to grab that top one, has to turn back around. Now will be returning to his base, but his base is in a lot of trouble as here comes a huge army from Djparson. He has knights on the top side as well, might get an additional furnace there, and another group of Gondor soldiers looking for a free mine to attack here. These soldiers, I don't think they have enough damage to actually take out the fortress, do they? Is he actually going to try? No, I think he's just running by it for now. Looks like he's looking for additional buildings to take out. It is going to be the furnace chosen to the north. To the south, I think these units are going to get overrun here by the amount of Isengard troops on the field. However, they do have a nice surround on this furnace, are doing some significant damage. Here comes the troops from the north. Faramir taking a couple of pot shots from afar, going completely uncontested right now. A small group of Gondor knights around the backside here attempting to take out this furnace. They will in fact get it. That grip gets them up to level 2. They will retreat here, and great unit control by Djparson to utilize these units to their maximum potential, able to pull them away just as they get to level 2. Survives with just a few units there, and of course once you get to level 2 you get that banner carrier, allowing your units to respawn. Another furnace going down here for Akashi-san. Faramir retreating slightly. It looks like he is ordering the full retreat here, as most of these units are now outnumbered, especially with War Chant going down here on these Isengard troops. So I don't think he will be able to win that battle. However, Faramir able to pick off a couple of pikemen to the north. These Gondor soldiers directly counter them as well, and these pikemen will not live for long. Looks like to the south, the Isengard troops will triumph over that small unit, remaining unit of Gondor soldiers, but now they are closing in on Faramir. Faramir needs to evacuate the dance floor as quickly as possible here as these units begin to chase him down. Could mount his horse should he choose to. It looks like this unit of Gondor soldiers is going to attempt to engage from behind, allowing their captain to retreat. He will actually change positions here in an attempt to outmaneuver for his opponents. Will jump on his horse now, and with that I think he should be able to get away. The heel goes down just in case there. I think he's very nervous about losing Faramir, as it is an expensive hero to replace. Not terribly expensive, however, of course, the respawn time of heroes in 2.02 greatly lengthened over 2.01. So if you do lose a hero, it can be a pretty critical loss. Lurtz now out on the field for Akashi-san in that weapon mode rather than the bow mode. And it looks like Lurtz, you're able to take out a couple of those Gondor soldiers. They will be moving in closer to the fortress now. It looks like the fortress focusing most likely on the Gondor Knights, though, as he's trying to eliminate them from the field. However, these Gondor Knights seem to just keep popping up, able to survive every time. Such a quick movement speed. And here comes a huge attack with Rangers. Faramir leading the charge as well, or at least taking up the rear of the charge. And I don't know if Andy has enough troops here to actually take this out. His base may be finally in trouble here. Lurtz getting getting overrun by these Hobbits as that Hobbit summon goes down here by Akashi-san. It looks like he has been, took the 2-5 spells and then went up to the 10 spell for the Hobbits. We are almost at a 10 spell here for Akashi-san, but at this point it might be too little too late as he's losing his only production structure. Once again, only able to get one production structure out on the field. His builder potentially in trouble now as well as these Hobbits begin to chase him down, and the Fortress now taking critical damage. The Bats overhead trying to reduce that damage as much as possible, but Lurtz cannot deal with these Hobbits throwing their stones, and will have to retreat here. Faramir, no doubt, in this battle here somewhere as well. Looks like in the back here, guarding these Rangers. Lurtz is taking too much damage. Here comes the extra reinforcements. Finally, he gets up to level 10, but at this point, his Fortress has taken critical damage, still being attacked by all of these units, and he has no way to produce units of his own. So it looks like the winner of this game is going to be Djparson, and with that win over Akashi-san here in the semifinals, and Lurtz going down with the final shot from Faramir will take him out, avenging his fallen brother Boromir there, killing Lurtz himself. And with the Fortress going down and Sharku out, actually Sharku's out on the field, but it's not going to make a difference. The Fortress goes down. Djparson is going to advance to the finals, so we are going to be going into the finals next, guys. Definitely stay tuned. This tournament, of course, hosted by GameReplays.org. And we will be moving into the finals now with Djparson and Megrim facing off against each other to see who is the #1 player who is the #1 player out of this tournament. So I hope you guys do stay tuned for that. Master Cloud signing off for now.